Every gardener who has spent time observing their soil knows that earthworms are the real engineers of fertility. They turn scraps into castings richer than any fertilizer, open tunnels that let water soak deep, and pull organic matter right into the root zone. But what wakes them up and brings them in faster? Rotting leaves that have already started breaking down, or freshly fallen leaves straight off the tree? This isn't just an idle curiosity. The answer can determine whether your garden soil comes alive in weeks or takes months to respond. To find out, gardeners and soil scientists have tracked how worms react to both types of mulch, and the results reveal something about the way worms think, eat, and choose their food. If you want to attract earthworms and accelerate soil building, you'll want to know which kind of leaf mulch to reach for first. So, this means that your local worm population influences how leaves perform as mulch. In gardens with an abundance of compost-type worms, rotten leaves almost always spark a faster response. In soils with more burrowing species, both fresh and rotten leaves eventually contribute, though rotten still edges ahead in terms of speed. For gardeners, the takeaway is straightforward. If your goal is immediate worm activity and fast soil revival, rotten leaves win. Collecting leaves in the fall, piling them, and letting them partially rot before applying them in spring is one of the most efficient methods to attract worms. If leaves are applied fresh, expect them to serve primarily as a protective mulch in the first season, with worm activity ramping up the following year once microbial breakdown progresses. That doesn't mean fresh leaves should be avoided. Their protective qualities are unmatched, especially for overwintering beds. Fresh leaves shield soil from erosion, prevent crusting, and reduce weed germination. One common mistake is piling fresh leaves too thickly. A dense mat can repel water, suffocate soil, and even prevent worms from accessing the layers beneath. Shredding fresh leaves before application solves much of this problem by opening up more surface area for microbes to begin their work. Rotten leaves by nature are already friable and less likely to form a barrier. Another pitfall is assuming all tree leaves behave the same. Oak leaves, for instance, are very high in tannins and decompose more slowly than softer leaves like maple or birch. Rotten oak leaves can still attract worms, but the process takes longer. Mixing different leaf types or combining with other organic matter often produces a more balanced mulch that worms respond to faster. Worm response to leaves isn't just about mulch preference, it's a reflection of the soil ecosystem's overall health. Where worms move in quickly, microbial life is strong, moisture levels are stable, and organic matter is abundant. Where worms hesitate, it often indicates compaction, dryness, or an imbalance in organic matter inputs. Observing how worms respond to fresh versus rotten leaves can serve as a diagnostic tool for gardeners, showing not only which mulch works best, but also whether the soil itself is welcoming to life. Whether applied fresh or rotten, leaves eventually cycle into the soil and contribute to long-term fertility. They provide the carbon backbone for humus, improve structure, and replenish minerals borrowed by the tree from deep soil layers. Worms play the critical role of speeding up this process, breaking down tough materials, and inoculating soil with living biology. For gardeners seeking the fastest route to living soil, rotten leaves are the clear winner. But in the broader cycle, fresh leaves have their place too, ensuring constant inputs that keep the soil food web supplied year after year. The best gardens often use a combination: fresh leaves for protection and slow feeding, and rotten leaves for immediate worm activity and quick revival. Worms are nature's most reliable soil builders, but they are selective about what and when they feed. Rotten leaves, already softened and colonized by microbes, act like a dinner bell that summons them fast. Fresh leaves, by contrast, serve more as a protective blanket, biding their time until microbial pioneers prepare the meal. Both have value, but if the goal is to wake worms up quickly and jumpstart soil life, rotten leaves hold the advantage. If you found this guide useful and want more deep dives into soil building methods that actually work, subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this video with fellow gardeners. Together we can restore our soils with the simplest tools nature already provides.